Hey everybody, Andrew here, United Martial Arts Center, making this 5 basic block video for the parents that asked for it. We use the same blocks throughout the system, no matter what class. The only thing that changes is the power and the execution of these blocks, and the in-depth knowledge that we share later on as they get a little older. So number one thing is our chambers. Our hand chambers are right here, the apex of the ribs. Hands are horizontal to the floor, pushed back. So they should not be sticking out. Okay, they should be flat and level with the body. They shouldn't curl up, shouldn't have a loose finger. Right there. Our blocking points of origins are slightly different. We start with the hands here, but for our high block, I'm taking my hand, I'm touching my hip bone, approximately where my belt is. My pinky is touching that hip bone, and I'm launching my wrist and fist up towards the ceiling and stopping there. So you can notice that having the hand over here is covering my entire body side to side. I'm leading with my wrist and fist so that I don't strain my elbow and shoulder. So touch, up, block. I'm blocking with the ulnar bone right there at the top. Okay, and as you can see, my head is in the middle of my arm. My hand is not over my face. My arm is over my head. And slightly forward, as you can see from this angle. Touch, up, block. Touch, the pinky touches, up, block. Okay, and you can work on that with one arm. As you get better, pinky, up, block. And touch, up, block. Touch, up, block. Touch, up, block. So pinky touches the hip, stays on that side of the body, elbow follows the fist and the wrist, bam, up to the top. And it's got to be strong. You cannot have a weak hand, weak fingers, weak wrist, or a weak arm. Okay? And you can see the structure is all set up behind it. Bone, elbow to shoulder. If something were to hit here, it's going to slide off. If my arm is too flat, I will get hit. Alrighty? So, starting chamber, touch, up, touch, up, touch, up. And again, my head is centered in my arm, and my arm is on a 45-degree angle up. Okay, this is the 90 degree, right there. Boom. Just like that. Our next block will be our muscle block, or outward block. Okay, same touching, same chamber, hip bone. So my thumb is actually going to touch my hip bone this time, and not my pinky, my thumb. I'm not going to be too picky about it, but there is a reason. And my elbow will stay stationary with a little bit of movement, but pretty much stay in that spot as I come out and across. My hand will be no higher than my chin, but in front of my shoulder. There's no need to go wider than this. So my thumb touches outward, thumb, outward, thumb touches the hip bone, outward, outward. Then thumb touches the hip bone, outward, touch, out, touch, out. My elbow is away from my body. Touching, outward. My elbow is away from my body. My fist and wrist, no higher than the chin, in front of the shoulder. Okay? Don't make it too long. Definitely don't make it too short. It should be in the middle. So this is the outward block, muscle block. Touch, muscle, or outward block. Touch, outward. Touch, outward. Touch, outward. Elbow away. Fist in front of the shoulder, no higher than the chin. Our next block is our inward block. To start our chambers, I'm taking my pointer knuckle and I'm hovering it right by my ear, so I know it's in there. It's around that ear. And I'm not just going in and across, I'm going in and down. Okay? So it starts out, elbow pointed out, in and down. So now it's in front of the other shoulder. My elbow is in my center. Okay? It's almost touching, but a little bit away. Touching the ear, in and down. Ear, in and down. Ear, in and down, ear, in and down. Okay, so again, I start my ear, in and down, You can see some space here between the elbow and my body. My hand is in front of my opposite shoulder. Ear, in and down. Ear, in and down. So reiterate, I don't want too far, I don't want it too close. It's got to be a comfortable distance where I know I'm going to be safe. So we kind of stay in the middle. So that's inward block. Our next block will be our down block. Okay? I'm taking my hand, I'm taking the space right here, my pointer, my thumb is right there, I'm going right by my ear, and I'm going down, down, okay? Down. In front of the thigh, out a little bit. Approximately where my hands would be if I was in a ready position, a ready stance. So here, hand by the ear, down. By the ear, down, ear, down, ear, down. As I'm doing it, there is a little bit motion by the ear. I actually want to put my thumb by my ear because there's a little bit of a snap at the bottom. A little bit of a snap at the bottom. So starting by the ear with my thumb, turning, snapping out. Thumb by the ear, snapping out. Thumb out. Thumb out. Once again, ulnar bone doing the blocks. Okay. Out a little bit, 45 degrees. Definitely some space. Ear down. Ear down. Ear down. Ear down. Ear down. Ear down. And hopefully you're getting a clear shot of how good this chamber should be. This is not a good chamber. The elbow needs to be back, the hand needs to be on the wrist. And just like the other blocks, we don't need to block outside the framework of our body. Do not overswing. Do not over-rotate. Okay? And lastly, our last block, number 5, is our temple block. Again, tight fist. It's going to start at the shoulder like you're knocking on it. And I'm going to have my arm tight into my body. I'm going to hammer out a little bit from the elbow to the pinky as I push the shoulder out 45 degrees. Temple block. You can notice that my head fits in the forearm space. I don't want to go too high and block with my elbow. I don't want to go too low and block with my hand. Too many small bones in the hand. I need to block with the bone. So 45 degrees, head fits in that space. Touch the shoulder, temple block. 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 Okay? Going over the blocks again real quickly. Start with the high block. Touch the hip bone. Lead with the hand and wrist. Up. Touch. Up. Outward block. Same position. Touch. Outward. Touch. Outward. Going for my inward block. Knuckle to the ear. In and down. Knuckle to the ear. In and down. Doing the down block. Opposite hand. Thumb by the ear. Down. Thumb by the ear. Down. And our last, number 5, the temple block. Touching the shoulder, push and hammer out 45, touch, push out, hammer 45. Those are our 5 basic blocks within the system that we teach here at the United Martial Arts Center.
Yarr!